What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another playtest video. As you saw in the title and the thumbnail, today I have for you the Under Armour Magnetico 5 Elite in this prototype QR code colorway. I'm actually very interested to see how these feel on feet, but before we get into that, I want to give a huge shout out to Sogility, the facility I'm currently at. They're always super cool about letting me film and train here, so their Instagram is going to be linked in the description so you guys can go check them out. But also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and with that being said, let's get these on feet. Also, a really huge shout out to Under Armour for sending me these boots, but let's get them out the box so you guys can take a look at this QR code colorway I'm talking about. Honestly, first impressions out the box, they just look so nice. I know I keep on saying QR code, but apart from them almost looking like a QR code, they look pretty clean in my opinion. I'm noticing it has the same exact sole plate that the Magnetico 4 had. And if you guys watched my video on the Magnetico 4s, I wasn't the biggest fan of them because the whole boot itself, like the upper, there was just so much material on it, like so many layers, what I'm trying to say. And just first impressions out the box, this almost feels like it has a one-piece upper, and that's actually such a plus because the Magnetico 4s just felt so bulky because of how much material was just added on top of the upper. So I'm actually very optimistic to get these on my feet and see how they feel. While these laces are like a not checkerboard, but they have a pretty cool pattern to them. They do feel kind of thick though. One thing I'm noticing before I even have these on my feet is this toe box. Look at how shallow it is. Like, how is my foot my toes supposed to fit in there? There's literally like half an inch worth of space. That's going to be interesting. Same as before, I went with the size 10.5 US. The Magnetico 4s actually fit me a little bit tight, so I could have easily gone with a 10 US. Just by looking at these, I feel like these are going to fit a little bit more true to size, and I won't really need to half a size up or down, but let's find out. Ready? 3, oh no, 2, 1, and ooh, okay. Oh yeah, that sizing is a lot better than the Magnetico 4s. It definitely is a lot more true to size. Come on. Oh shit. Oh. Okay, focus. We gotta get my foot in here. Holy cow. Why is this taking so long? Okay. That took way longer than what it was supposed to. Let's see. Oh yeah, these I can tell you right now, these feel so much better than the Magnetico 4s. The 4s just felt so bulky on your feet, and they actually felt pretty heavy too. I know in the initial testing video on the 4s, all I said throughout the whole video is that the boots feel heavy. Yeah, these don't feel as heavy as the Magnetico 4s. Let's go get a ball so we can get first touch in. All right, as always, let's get it. That is very nice feeling. Oh, okay, that's cool. Sorry, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. So the Magnetico is Under Armour's control boot. So this is basically going head to head against the Adidas Predator or the Nike Phantom 6. But let's get a little bit better of a feel of this upper with some of the technology that Sogility has. Let's have some fun. As always, this is literally like one of my favorite machines here at Sogility. It quite literally is just passing to a wall back and forth. Okay, let me focus a little. Oh yeah, that feels very nice. These are so much better than the 4s just because with the 4s, like I said, they felt so much more bulky, and the one-piece upper that these have just makes it more seamless throughout the whole upper. Because like in the 4s, the boots themselves had grip to them, but they also had like an extra stripe of grip right here in this striking area, which in my opinion just I didn't really feel much. And going into these, I really love how they just added those like external grip pods. I think it's a better addition, or change I should say, going into the 5s from the 4s, because adding just like an extra piece of material, like literally just a strip on top of the boot that's meant for grip, didn't really work for me in my opinion. But so far, those 2 little 30 seconds that I had actually feel very nice. But let's head over there to give a more in-game experience, especially to see how this sole plate feels, which is the same sole plate as the 4s, so I have no doubt it's going to be nice, because that's like one of the things I liked about the 4s. All right, reason being why this sole plate is probably the best thing I liked about the 4s is because literally all the conicals, all the studs are mainly conical, and that's just so nice for me, especially because I play mainly on AG here, especially here at Sogility. Nice, I didn't think I was gonna be able to get that one. It just makes it more comfortable to move around in turf. I guess not mainly circular, but have some sort of circular shape to them. And the edges of the actual studs aren't insanely rigid or aggressive. Now, don't get me wrong, it is not anything as crazy as an AG plate. Like, let's say like a Nike AG plate. Oh man, I missed that one twice. But there I go, hitting my phone again. Still relatively comfortable playing on AG, and I have no doubt it's gonna feel really nice on FG as well. All right, now just something super simple. Dribble across the cones, shoot with my right or left foot. The more I'm walking around in these, the more I'm getting a lot of pressure on my left heel. That also may just vary by user because my left foot is slightly bigger than my right. I'm hoping it goes away, but it's definitely, ooh. It's definitely there, that's for sure. Nice. I might have already explained this before earlier, but I really love the change in direction Under Armour went with going into the 5s from the 4s. As far as the upper material, I don't know if you can really notice or tell on camera, but the upper is just so much more moldable to your foot compared to the 4s. It literally just felt so stiff and it didn't really break in too nicely. With these, I'm definitely moving my toes a little bit more comfortably than I did with the 4s. So honestly, I'm becoming a very big fan of this upper. It feels very nice. And I have a feeling it's also gonna break in very nicely. Although I am gonna say the toe box area is a little bit shallow, so the material is quite literally just sitting on top of my foot to begin with, and it does feel a little bit tight. But that being said, I mean, just look at how easily my toes are moving around with the material that they use on these boots. Shallowness of the toe box area, I don't think it's gonna be too much of an issue because of that material, but let's talk a little bit about the heel area. Now, honestly, I don't think there's much of a change coming from the 4s going into the 5s. The heel area almost feels exactly the same as they did. Although visually it does look a little better. They added this external heel counter, which also serves as like promotion. This is the Under Armour prototype, which I think is pretty cool. And it literally looks like it has a QR code here. I mean, it's the same as the 4s, but I'm not feeling really any slippage. And I'm not wearing any grip socks, as you can see, so that's pretty nice. Honestly though, I'm having a really good time testing these just because I didn't know really what it was gonna be like going into it. But yeah, let's absolutely hit this half volley, and then I'm gonna give you guys my final first impressions, if that makes any sense. All right, let's absolutely smack this. All right, final first impressions, if you want to call it, on the Under Armour Magnetico 5 Elite. Honestly, I am a lot more surprised with how much I'm liking these than I thought I was going to be. These just have honestly blown my expectations out of the water, because just the way that they changed the upper is very, let me try and get this off, is very nice. Let's see if this left one will come off as easily. Oh crap, my foot's just gonna stay in there for the rest of my life. Oh my goodness. So that was actually very hard to take off, but it didn't feel that tight in my foot because of the upper. But I love how they just essentially made it a one-piece construction feel, and you can just tell just by how I'm bending it here that the upper is just moves a lot better than the fours. And you can probably also tell that the upper's my favorite part about the Magnetico 5s. And I will say the gripped elements that they added, the white dots or like the white blobs you see on the upper, I did feel them, and I love how they just added it throughout the whole upper instead of just making gripped area on the striking area. Although with so much good talk about the upper, I am gonna say my least favorite is these laces. They're so thick. They don't really stay tied. Kind of have to readjust them or retighten them every so often. So I'm gonna give these a solid 7.5 out of 10. Honestly, if these were a bit easier to put on and take off, they would rate a little bit higher. That being said, let me know down in the comments if you guys have ever tried Magneticos, or if you've tried the new Magnetico 5s, and what your thoughts are on them. And also, if you want to support the channel, as you see, this jersey that I have on is a very specifically made jersey for the channel. You guys are able to get it via link in the description. It's got Jose Palafox boot reviews badge right here. You can get it long sleeve, short sleeve. If you want to support the channel, go get yourself a kit, but you could also just support by subscribing, liking the video, and also commenting down below which boot you want to see me play test next. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.